This is Levels of Geeks podcast, bringing you action movie reviews from across the decades, plus box office numbers and insight like never before. And now your host of Levels of Geeks podcast, Alex and Friends.
Welcome everyone to a new episode. I'm your host Alex Figueroa. My co-host is
Nate from Netflix Reviews.
Welcome to episode 23. This is the Ip Man 2 2010 movie review. We're gonna actually this is first time watch for Nate for the
That's
franchise, right?
Yeah, anything after Ip Man 1 is first time watches. Never seen any of the sequels. So, yep, first time watch.
Yeah, I seen this a long time ago. It's gonna be a good talk for this movie. But again, guys, if you guys are listening to us over on Apple Podcast, please rate the show, leave us some feedback. We'll take those criticisms, throw them right back into the show, and make the show even better for you guys to listen to. And again, if you guys are over at YouTube and catching the YouTube version of this movie review, guys, just hit that like button, hit the bell button, so every time we go live Monday, Wednesdays at 9 p.m., you guys would be notified. And of course, whenever we drop new podcast video versions or our 4K reviews on Fridays, you guys would be notified. But let's get right into this movie review. We always have our criterias, right? We have 6 of them for you guys. And this is the way we rate these movies when we sit back and we watch these movies, whether it's for the first time all the way up to like the 10th time we're watching these movies. So with that said, the 6 categories are 1, lead character, 2, main villain, 3, action scenes, 4, storyline, 5, overall, and of course the total points of all the criterias put into one. So with that said, let's start off with the box office numbers. Are you ready, Nate?
I'm ready. The first one made $0 US. It had no box office. It had, just $422 million or whatever it was. So yeah, I'm interested to see if this one has any actual box office.
All right, so this is interesting. I did a lot of research for this. I wanted to do a little bit of a more deep dive into the box office numbers, because a lot of people have been interested in it, and I've been interested in myself, especially that we're doing like in the now international market. So I wanted to see how more of the money influenced over there, even with the box office over here. So with that said, domestically, it did come out in 2010 in the U.S. It was domestic $205,675. Yeah, it wasn't that much. Yeah, international though made $14,883,773. And the reason why I'm adding all the numbers now,
36 cents.
Yeah, at 36 cents. The reason why I'm adding everything because now it makes sense with the worldwide totals. So for the listeners and the audience. So with that, worldwide is $15,089,448 on a budget of $12,902,809, right? Yeah. But check this out. I did some research. That's equivalent to Chinese yuan. I guess that's their currency. That's $100 million in China, in Chinese.
So it was a big hit in China.
Yeah, it's actually, well, technically it made it, I don't know how they take their money over there, but technically it made 3 million more. Plus DVD sales and Blu-ray, and I don't know what they have over there. So technically this was a hit. Okay.
Yeah, it must have done good enough because obviously they made 2 more. So this is a lot of these foreign martial arts films really find their life, at least in the US, they find their life on video. Yeah. So once DVDs and Blu-rays and 4Ks and things like that, that's where a lot of these, because it had probably a very, you said 200,000. I'm going to guess it came out in like a handful of theaters in a handful of markets. You know what I mean? So that's not surprising, but it probably did well on video, I would imagine.
Yeah, I wish we could get those numbers, man. Like how they did in those current. I mean, I'll look it up. Yeah, It'll be our next mission is to find out DVD sales. That's gonna be our mission for you guys. But yeah, look, so far this went 3 million over the budget. So technically, it was a hit. Okay. It's a hit movie. But now it is time to find out: is the movie really that good? Story, action. Daniel Yang. Was he good?
Rotten Tomatoes score.
And don't forget about the Rotten Tomatoes, man.
Listen to this.
Go ahead.
This thing. When I looked this up, I had to Google it 3 times because I Googled it on my phone.
Okay.
And I was like, wait a second. this ain't right. And then I went on my computer.
Okay.
And I said, hold on a second, let me Google it here. And then I went to Rotten Tomatoes, because usually if you Google a movie, it shows you the Rotten Tomatoes score on the page.
Okay.
So I was like, this is maybe not. Let me go to Rotten Tomatoes and check. Sure enough, same score, all three places. Ip Man 2 has a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, it doesn't have like 200 reviews or anything. I think it's maybe 28 or 38, something like that. But it is sitting at a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. I said, wow.
How about the audience score?
Grosses.
You got the audience score?
I didn't write down the audience score. So I don't know. I know when we put up the little picture here in the After Effects, people will see it. But
okay.
I bet it's in the 70s. You know, I mean, it seems like these are pretty popular amongst, just fans in general. But it's like 10% higher than Ip Man 1, which, if you guys remember, had an 86. So, and this is the second highest reviewed movie we've watched so far, I think, behind Terminator 1, which had 100%. So,
it's not bad, dude. The audience score, 84%.
84.
That's 12%
more. Very good.
Yeah.
So we're talking about, apparently, and we're about to let you know, but apparently one of the greatest martial arts movies of all time. Apparently. No. So I guess we're about to find out. You guys are about to get our opinions on it, but according to the people, this is an amazing movie. So I'm interested in talking. This is the first time watching. I'm very interested.
Yeah, I'm very interested to hear your take, because I kind of see where your meter is. From your tone, I already know where the meter is going on this.
A little sarcastic.
A little sarcastic there. All right, so like always, Nate always starts it off once I start hosting these shows. So Nate, please start it off with the lead character.
Okay, and I really like this new format I use to review these movies, because I write it down on paper. So right above, I can see what I gave Ip Man 1 in this paper. So I could see how it compares and contrasts in real time, which I love. Because sometimes I don't remember, you know what I mean? Like, I don't remember what I gave it. So in the first one, I gave Mr. Donnie Yen, or Ip Man, a 4 out of 5. I liked him. A lot of, he was very good. In this movie, I gave him a 3 out of a 5. You know what? Just a lot. He had a lot less going on, in my opinion, in this movie. Like, he's really just trying to start a martial arts school, and then okay, I won't say nothing else. I'll stop there, because it has to go into storyline.
Yeah, that's storyline.
Then other stuff happens, and that's all he does. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have there's not the whole military coming in and like making him homeless. Like, he's still kind of poor. For whatever reason, his man can't like make any money, I guess. Like, they go to Hong Kong and he's still like a bum, but he's an honorable bum. You know what I mean? And also, side note, why is his son still 5 years old? This is like 2 years after the last. His kid should be 10. He looks still 5. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I digress. 3. He didn't have as much to do. He still fights well. He plays the part as good as he plays it in the first one. But when we're scoring lead character, I'm thinking more so the character in the film, and he just didn't have as much weight to him in this one, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, I didn't like him as much in this one than I did in the first one. So I go with a 3, because he still performed very well, and the action scenes are still very good.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, in terms of Ip Man himself, Daniel, I enjoyed him. I thought the character, developed even more. You saw a little bit more. He's becoming more in his prime with the Wing Chun, so you kind of saw that in the movie. Whereas the first one, he just whooped everybody's asses, and holy crap. But this one, they just took that and then threw it up another notch for him, and I enjoy that. And now, in terms of story, in terms of his acting, I'm not talking about the story, I'm talking about him himself.
Yeah.
I thought it worked a lot, especially some emotional scenes where his friend got shot in the bullet in the head and he saw him for the first time. He got mad emotional. I got emotional. I see my dog. Yeah, eating the duck. Yeah, so I felt for him there, especially also in the arena when we're going to talk about that. That you felt it also. And then towards the end, you felt a lot of emotion. So with that, I gave him, I believe, a 5 in the first movie. Okay. I think I did give him a 5. So this one, I'm gonna give him a 5, because I was still stuck, dude. I was sucked in. Like, he kept ticking me in. Now 3 and 4, is that gonna change because he gets older? And remember, he said it to the kid in the room. he said, one thing you got to learn is the older I get, you could beat me. Because, he's
what
older.
I want to know is his son ever going to get older? Because
his son does get older, yeah.
He's 5 years old.
No. No, he gets, I'll just give you a little snippet. 3,
Thank
he gets
God.
a little older. Yeah, he gets a little older.
Okay.
All right. So, I gave him a 5. So, with
5.
that,
Okay,
all right.
nice.
Main villain. Now, I'm a little, I don't know which way to go with this because I was like, was it Mr. Twister or was it the guy who put together the boxing event?
I scored Twister.
Yeah, Mr. Right, because he was the one who fought him, right?
Fight. Yeah, exactly.
All right. So, Mr. Twister, he's a boxer, right? And he could fight. It's weird. He's like a mixed martial artist because he's a boxer, but then he could fight and block all these Chinese like Wing Chun moves and whatever the other guy was doing. He played the part. I can't say he didn't. He antagonized them. He made fun of them. He backed it up. Not like how we talked about it with the general where he just got his butt whooped.
Got wrecked.
Yeah, he got wrecked in 1 second. So he backed up his words. With that said, I gave the main villain, Mr. Twister, I gave him a 4. I ain't going to give him a 5. He ain't that great of a villain. But I gave him a 4 because he fought back. He did his purpose. And we're going to talk about what he did to one of the characters, one of the maybe supporting actors. He did exactly something that I was like, holy crap. This was kind of a big turning point. So with that, I gave him a 4.
All right.
Oh, boy. I already see where this meat is going to go with you.
All right. So I gave the general in the first movie a 1.
Yeah.
And that was mostly because he was just whack. He ended up being whack. He didn't do nothing. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm watching this movie and I'm like, it took a long time to find out who the villain was. I'll be honest. At first, I thought it was going to be Sammo Hung's character because he was kind of like antagonistic towards him. Right.
Yeah.
But then it wasn't really him. Then I was thinking, okay, maybe it's that British guy who's like setting this up. And he is a villain, but
not
in this movie, he's not the one who's going to, fight with him, right? So then this Twister guy shows up. Now, okay, he looks great. He has like a great look. He's chiseled. The dude is jacked. You know what I mean? Like he looks like a boxer. He looks like a fighter. I did like that. So I texted, I sent Alex a text last night when I was watching. I said, is this dude's really name just Twister? Like he has no first name, no last name.
Yeah.
He just Twister. So stupid. It was so stupid. He was so like, this guy is a video game. He's a cartoon character.
Yeah.
He's not like a real person at all. They go to a press conference and he's talking about fighting Chinese people. And then all of a sudden he's like, I'll kill all the Chinese people. It's like, there's no way that this guy is going to show up and say all this stuff. And they're just going to be like, oh, okay, we're just going to write down this stuff. He's saying whatever. It was silly. I didn't like him. But at the same time, at least he fought, unlike the first guy, and he landed some punches. So I gave him a 2.
Oh my
I gave him
God.
1 point more. He's a goof. Listen, this is a goofy character. He's not realistic at all. He seems like he's straight out of like a Street Fighter video game, honestly.
Yeah,
he doesn't seem like a real person. So I was like, this guy's not real. I want Ip Man, even though I only gave him a 3 in this movie. In general, he seems like he's a real character. He's like a human. This guy's like fake. This is such a movie character. It's too much. He's very mustache twirly, I'm the greatest in the world, Twister. Like, oh my gosh, please. And his name is Twister, so 2. I couldn't give him above that. I wanted to. I was like, maybe there's something there for me. Nope, nothing. I gave him 2.
All right.
So I hated him.
Here we go. Action scenes.
All right. Action scenes. First movie. Gave it a 5. Fantastic. This movie. So I was watching this movie last night and I put on the surround sound really loud. Booming. And we'll get into it when we do our 4K review, but I left it in Cantonese the whole time because I wasn't tired. So I didn't need it in English. I read the subtitles the whole time. So if I'm tired, I put it to English because I'm like, I don't want to read. But I was wide awake. So I'm sitting there, it's booming, and there's action, the punches, like the machine gun punches, whatever. But the thing is, with this movie, there's a lot of action. I'll say that. And the only thing is, like, I laughed a lot. It was so silly. Like, this one was way sillier to me than the first one. I don't know what happened here. And by the way, Sammo Hung, he plays the other Master Hung. Master Hung. The other guy, the guy who boxed dying.
Yeah.
So Sammo Hung, he's like a real famous Hong Kong Chinese actor. He did all the choreography for the first movie. And he did all the choreography for this movie. which is impressive because if you see him, you're like, no way, that guy's like fat. He's like short and fat, but this guy can he can really fight. So he did the choreography again, but there's just so many parts that are so silly. Like I was just cracking up when they're fighting on the table and they're going in a circle. They're going, and they're doing machine gun punches, machine gun. I started laughing because it went on for so long. I was like, it took me out of it. I was like, ugh, okay, well, this is going to be extra. They're going like extra over the top with this one. Same thing in the boxing match, like the first boxing match. Like the ref would have stopped in. This guy's just on the ropes, and this guy's just pounding on him and pounding on him.
Yeah.
He does the same punch, slow motion. I get it. They were going for dramatic and all that, but I didn't like it as much. It's still well choreographed. It's just like they linger and they do too much of everything. So I gave it only a 3. It took me out of it at certain times, and I ended up laughing more than I did like really feeling the action like I did in the first movie.
Okay. Well, I gave it a 5 on Ip Man 1. This one, I gotta say, well, this one had some great parts. Like when he fought one of his pupils, the first one. That he goes, you know, I'll pay you if you could beat me, and that was a really good hand to, like, especially the camera went on top, like the top view, so you saw it more like from the top overview. So I was like, that was awesome. The fish market scene was awesome because it was like him versus like everybody,
like 20 guys, and it's like 1,000.
Yeah, it's like 50 dudes, and he just wrecking them.
Guys just keep coming out of nowhere for like. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
that one. Good too.
Yeah, that was a really. I mean, I know certain things look like Jackie Chan's stuff when he's throwing stuff and he's fighting with the wooden plank and he's spinning it, and I'm like, yo, that joint is heavy because I remember picking that up. But then again, like his master Ip, so I don't know. He got super strength, so I was like, all right, cool. Thought that was cool. The boxing matches were. I agree with you. The first boxing match. There was no way that even the second one, the ref would have called it. Yeah, that was no way. I mean,
it was crazy.
Yeah, and I think even if you really look at the fighting styles of Ip Man and the other one, he would have destroyed that guy because they were landing punches, and I was like, this dude's got no glove.
Like, when I was watching it, I was like, okay, this guy's a boxer. Boxing can block, can move. I get it. And if you're telling me a straight hand-to-hand fight, I'd probably take the boxer over a martial artist who's because once they said no kicks, you know what I mean? It was like, okay, the boxer now I would probably give the advantage to. But for the first 2 rounds, these guys were allowed to kick. There's no way. There's absolutely no way this boxer would stand a chance. Like they could just kick him in the legs. They could sweep him. They were doing grabs. I get he's stronger than them physically, which makes some sense as far as the grabs. But they had way more tools that they can use. And this movie expected me to believe that this boxer is so good at boxing that he can box around kicks and all. And so it was a little hard to believe at times. It was like, okay, really?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you because, when I saw him do kicks, and I'm like, but how weak is his kicks? Because I'm like, we see him kick other people, and he's flinging them all over the place. And then when he kicks this dude, it's like a stone wall. And I'm like, but if he's a master, which I'm not saying he's not a master, if he's a master Wing Chun, which he finds the most weakest points on you, I'm like, he's not even exploiting it, which I was just like, now at the end, you do see him exploit it, which I was like, okay, which that was like one of the best parts when he was like hitting him in the muscles and the biceps. And it got
that was really cool. I like that.
Yeah. I was like, this is awesome. When he did that kick thing that he split him and kicked him right in the jaw, I was like, he's done. Oh, that's it.
But I'm like, that's all the stuff he should have done right away.
Yeah.
What was he waiting for? What was he waiting so long for?
Yeah. So I mean that I would knock some points off of my score. With that, does it have tons of actions? Absolutely, it has tons of action. I'm not saying it does not have action. It has action. You're gonna be hooked on it, regardless if it's like they laughed at it and stuff. You're still hooked on it. There's stuff. I mean, there's just nothing you can do. These guys are so great.
To watch.
Yeah, they're great at their talent that it just blows me off. Like I'm like, holy crap! Like these dudes are fighting like 8 dudes with like a stick, and I'm like, this is amazing. Like I mean, I know it's choreographed, but to me, it's just mind-boggling.
There's a lot of skill involved, even in the choreography. Yeah,
it is, and that's why I guess I'm so gravitated to the John Wick movies. I keep bringing up John Wick because I love that hand-to-hand business. Then the whole punching you, take you, grab you, throw you through the wall. Like, the typical fights that you see in action movies. With that said, action, I gave it a 4. I took the point down because certain things were where Ip Man 1 was believable. It was a believable fight. Like, it was him going up against people. This one was just a little bit Rambo. You know what I mean? Like, they just
and
gave
even
it
when they fight on the table, like, this dude, like, runs across the little wooden things. It looks so, like, ridiculous. He's, like, floating through the sky as he's running across it. I was like, what are they doing? They did a little too much wire work in this one, I feel like.
No, they did. The table scene, I'll admit, I was into it. Once they started to do the whole punching fast, which I could see they were showing their strength or whatever, and then they split the table, and then they kicked it and landed on it. And I was like, I'm
thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, this is a great premise. This guy has to stay on this table. He can't get knocked off for as long as this thing. It's a great setup.
No, it was.
I was really excited to see it. And as soon as that guy comes like floating across I was like, oh, man, this is going to be corny. And sure enough, I thought it was so corny the whole time. I couldn't get into it because it was a great idea and it was executed with really weird execution. So I was disappointed in that scene.
It didn't bother me, the wire work. Like, it didn't bother. What bothered me was where the main dude jumps on it.
Yeah.
Like, and I was just like, all right, cool. And then they started to, which I was like, all right, cool. And then they started to ramp it up a bit. I was like, whoa. But then they went to like some Dragon Ball Z thing. I was like, where are we going from here? Because you can see that they're just even. But I mean, look, with that said, I gave it a 4. Nate gave it a 3. Let's get right into storyline. Storyline. All right. So here we go. I'm not gonna be as harsh. I know Nate is gonna destroy the crap out of this. But with that, look, this storyline was a carbon copy of Rocky IV. I'm just gonna say it right now.
The words from my mouth.
It's a carbon copy. It's formula to formula of Rocky IV. There's nothing I can say with it. I enjoyed the story. I mean, yes, I know what happened with Rocky. We already know what's gonna happen with Ip Man 2. I enjoyed it for what it was. Now, there's a little nitpicks I have. I thought the story was way too long. They dragged out the movie in certain points. It was way too long than it needed to be. I think his friend dying, I thought was cool. It made it more like, holy crap, but it was straight Apollo Creed dying and Drago's looking at him and he's looking at him and you already knew Ip Man was going to take the challenge. So I was like, okay, that is cool. The only difference that I liked about this one versus where the Rocky IV was that the guy that he went to defend was the guy that was trying to keep him from opening up the school. Like, if you know what I mean? Like, he was the one that was like, if you're going to open up a school, you got to do the rules. Like, he was the douche, you know? Like, and he was sending his henchmen when he didn't want to pay the fees to destroy some stuff. So that, I was like, it's a little cool. I mean, it was like a little different between the storylines. I mean, again, and it's so funny because when I was watching this, I had all the Rocky music in my head. So when it was playing, I was like, I want to do a video where I take all the music and put it in the scenes that I think it could work in. Because when he takes his family and puts them in the landlord's house, and he went to train, I was thinking Hearts on Fire when he's rocking when he's rocking the dummy. I was like, all right, that's cool. And then when his friend gets knocked out, I was thinking there's no easy way out because it was just like in slow motion. And I was like, man, I'm like, this is such. And then at the end when he gives the speech, I was thinking put Rocky and him at the same time. Going, if you can change, I can change. We all can change. And this is what I wanted to say. Before I give my score, tell me that the announcer guy was not mad animated. He was mad, right? He was like, and then he was like, and he said he's going to fight. And then he went back into the thing, just like the announcer in Rocky IV when he talks Russian. He's like, and Rocky was like, hey kid, if you want to, and then he's like, and I'm like, oh my god, it's like this is the same damn script. But again, I love Rocky IV. Everyone knows in the channel, I absolutely love Rocky IV. I like this but I think it was just a little bit formulaic, I guess it was called. Like I guess I'm saying
formulaic.
Yeah, it's very too Rocky 4. I wish it was a little bit its own. They tried to. I gave it a 4 out of a 5. I don't think it's a masterpiece of 5. I thought it was great because it hooked me. Regardless if it was the Rocky 4, I'm a sucker for someone dying and he goes, I'm going to beat your ass. And that's what he did. But that's just me. Let's get to Nate's nightmare. Okay. All right, here you go.
I too like Rocky 4. Love Rocky 4. I love Rocky 4 in Rocky 4. I do not want to see it again in another movie. Look, I hated this movie. I did not like this movie at all. So I know he gave, so far I'm at a 3, a 2, and a 3. This is the part I've been waiting to get to because I had a terrible time watching this movie. It definitely drags. It was way too long for no reason. The whole first hour. What is this? It doesn't matter. The story they ultimately want to tell, nothing that happens in the beginning matters. I know you remember if you watched our first review of the first movie, the first 15 minutes or so is kind of more lighthearted or whatever. Then it gets to the war stuff, and then it is a cohesive story the rest of the way. Mm-hmm. This movie was these guys are trying to start a martial arts school, and then they're getting opposition, and then they're fighting 1,000 guys, and then all of a sudden, I kid you not, you can watch this movie. You call me a liar. I'm not lying. There's 1 or 2 scenes. They almost beat the little fat kid with the lollipop. And then all of a sudden these guys are friends. They're just friends. And it's what? Why? Why did that happen so quick? See, the thing why Rocky 4 works so well is because Apollo Creed and Rocky's rivalry had already been established for so many movies. Rocky 1, Rocky 2, Rocky 3. This is built. They have built up to when Creed dies, Rocky respects him so much. And they are, they're friends, but they're still, they're still rivals, but friends. You know what I mean? And you now are oh, Rocky's going to get revenge. Well, I didn't feel that in this movie. I didn't feel that Ip-Man needed to get revenge for this guy because I didn't feel that they had any sort of real friendship or relationship. This guy was trying to strong arm him and take money. He wanted payments from him so he could open a school. He was a douche about it. They fight a little bit in their house. And then all of a sudden they're cool with each other. I won't say friends. They're cool with each other, right? I didn't like that. I didn't like it. I didn't feel like it was earned. I didn't feel like the ending was earned. I hate that it was just a ripoff of Rocky 4 because it is. It is a ripoff. It is the same exact storyline. Other guy fights, dies in the ring. Other guy defends his honor by fighting the foreign monster who can't be defeated and is too strong and kills everybody. It's the same exact story.
It is, but the difference. I'm gonna play a little defense here on the Ip-Man. Okay. Is he wasn't defending the guy as much. He was defending the fact that the guy was dishonoring the Chinese martial arts. That's why the guy. I would agree with you.
I would agree with you if they don't have these flashbacks during Ip-Man's fight of him having dreams of the guy getting beaten and killed.
Right, but if you notice when he got the flash, because he was laying in the mat when he punched him, he almost got knocked. Well, He was knocked out, and he got the flashbacks. That's what the guy said. He was like, "You cannot dishonor." That's why he kept fighting, and that's why he got up, and that's all of a sudden that he remembered. Oh, I got to punch him in the biceps, and that's when the movie hit the 360 because he remembered. Why was the reason why he was in the ring? Again, I'm not taking it away from you. I'm just saying to me, that's the reason why he got in the ring because he's dishonoring the Chinese martial arts. Don't embarrass our form of fighting. He wasn't defending the fat guy. He was defending the whole anything, whatever skill or whatever they fight. That's just me.
Oh, Kung Fu. It's just Kung Fu.
Yeah, Kung Fu.
It's just forms of Kung Fu.
Yeah, so he was defending the Kung Fu art. Because the guy was making fun of it, clearly. Yeah. He was sure. That's what he was doing. But again, I'm not here to change your mind. I'm just here just to say what this...
Hated it.
Yeah. No.
I get that. I totally get that. I get that point. Did nothing for me. I hate it. A 1. I won't give it a 0. I'll give it a 1. But... nope. Didn't like it. Did not. And I was excited to watch this movie. After the first movie, I was like, okay. The first one was okay to me. I thought it was pretty good. If you guys remember, I gave it 16.5 out of 25. I was like, that's pretty good overall. So I was like, I'm looking forward to the next one. This one was worse. I hated this one. I didn't like it.
I can't wait to see 3 and 4 with you, my friend.
Oh God! If they continue like this, I'm gonna hit the series. I'm only gonna like part 1.
It's gonna get
oh
good.
God. Okay, so
right.
yeah, 1 overall for me.
All right, so here we go. Overall,
so hated this movie. Didn't like it. Didn't have a fun time watching it. Thought Donnie Yen was good, so I will not. I won't give it just a bottom of the barrel. It's not gonna be high, but it ain't gonna be like a 1. I thought the action scene was pretty good. It's a step down. Everything to me was a step down from the first movie, which is not good when you're like a franchise. Like the lead character was slightly less cool to me. The action scenes were less good to me. The storyline was less good to me. So I didn't have a great time. I gave the first one a 3.5. I'm only gonna give this one a 2. I didn't really like it. This is like, I have this box set now with all these Ip Man movies. I don't really ever see myself putting this one in again. Like I can't imagine that I'd want to watch it again, to be honest with you. So okay. I'm going to give it a 2, mostly for Donnie Yen doing a good job and some of the action scenes being pretty good. I give it a 2.
Yeah. So overall, I enjoyed it for what it was. Like I said, I like the whole Rocky 4 twist to it, if you want to call it a twist. Yep. I gave it a 3. I wasn't going to give it a 4 or 5 because the story has already been done. They did it their way of a Rocky 4. But with that, I think they could have had a better story for Ip Man Part 2. Again, how can you make a Part 2 of a story of a real dude? Like, again, they're making all this up as we go. But one thing I will say is that Bruce Lee does show up at the end, which was pretty cool. When Bruce Lee I thought the kid played him pretty. He goes,
I did like too that this one, at least Ip Man gets hit. Because in the first movie, he was invincible. Like he didn't even get touched, really. And this one, at least the boxer knocked him out, knocked him down a few times. He had to really earn the fight, which was good. I like that. I don't like invincible characters. I'm not like that's why I don't watch like Dragon Ball Z and stuff. It's like Goku's too invincible. He just destroy everything on Earth. That's why Superman's not my favorite, character. So he was becoming that, but at least in this one, they put him into Earth a little bit,
Yeah. With that said, look, again, I gave it a 3. Total points, my friend.
Total for me is 11 out of 25. Lower, disappointed. I'll say disappointed because even though I'd never seen it, I was pretty excited to watch it. And then I was kind of let down. I didn't like the beginning part. I wasn't interested in it. And then when it got really cooking, it was just Rocky 4 again. So 11 out of 25.
Yeah, I got a 20 out of 25. Again, I enjoyed the movie for what it is. I think the fights were pretty good. It's not as memorable as the first movie, but there's a lot of sequences there that are pretty cool when he fights with the kid in the fish market, him and the other teachers. So you see different kung fu's going against the Wing Chun. I thought that was pretty cool. Then again, him versus like a Drago-ish character. I thought it was pretty interesting. I don't think it's pretty dope where Rocky fought Drago, but this one was pretty interesting. But with that said, a 20 out of 25. They got 11 out of 25. Drive us home, buddy.
Yeah, so that is Ip Man 2, the movie that has a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I did not like it at all. So that was interesting. So Ip Man 2, of course, you're going to want to stay tuned. Our next podcast episode is going to be Kill Bill, which we're role reversing here because it's Alex's first time watching that movie. Yeah. So we're going to see how that goes in. Pretty interesting. These two movies kind of similar as far as their martial arts, Asia, that one's Japan, this one's China, but still. So we're going to be doing that. And of course, next week we will have Ip Man 3, which is another first time watch for me, which I went from excited to nervous now for that movie. I'm now nervous. I'm like, oh gosh, I don't know. And then that'll be, so that'll be next week. And then of course, last but not least, stay tuned later this week. We're going to have our 4K review for the disc of Ip Man 2. So that won't have the movie. It won't have the movie in mind. I don't care how much I didn't like it. It will purely be the 4K disc review.
Yeah. So again, guys, if you want to follow us on our social media accounts, follow Nate over on Instagram at NateFlix Reviews or his podcast with him and his friends on Apple Podcast, Stitcher, or anywhere you guys listen to your favorite podcast is Nate Flix Movie Reviews on any of those platforms. And of course, Levels of Geeks, follow us on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, all Levels of Geeks across the board. And again, if you guys are watching over on YouTube, please hit that like button, hit those subscribe buttons, and then, of course, hit those bell buttons. So every time we go live Monday, Wednesdays, and, of course, we have our podcasts dropping and our 4K reviews dropping. Also, you guys will be notified. Until then, I'm Alex Figueroa, and that is
Nate from Netflix Reviews.
Be awesome to each other and geek out.